So now we got our bits and bobs on. If I turn this off, in theory, if I then start it again, they should stay out. Well, they might not because it's done a no, there you go. No malfunctions. There is a dyno mode and it works. Hello, welcome to another dyno. This is a smart ForFour because it's for 4 people, I'm guessing. This isn't just any smart ForFour though. No, this is a smart ForFour BRABUS. Now you might see Mercedes A-classes and things driving down the road at the moment, and they've got AMG on the back. And back in the old days, that meant, oh, that's quite a fruity car. That's something special. And nowadays, it doesn't. Nowadays, it means it's got low-profile tyres and side skirts. This one, having BRABUS on it, is the former. This is a spicy smart. The book figure on these cars, 177 horsepower. And it weighs about, well, 1050 kilos, 1060, something like that. That's potentially quite fruity. So basically under the skin of this is a Mitsubishi Colt. The engine from this car is the same as in the Mitsubishi Colt CZT. It's a 1.5 litre 16 valve turbo. 177 horsepower. This one's from 2006. That's pretty good. These are quite rare cars. I was speaking to the owner earlier on, who's very kindly brought it down to me today, and he estimated that he thought there were about, I think he said 130 of them on the road in the UK. Well, that's not many. That makes my C6 look common. This one is slightly dirty. Deal with it. Doesn't have the original wheels fitted at the moment. Apparently those are made of chocolate. So he's got these actually rather rare 16-inch version. I think he said they were 16-inch. Yes. 16-inch version of the original 15-inch versions of the normal 4.4 wheels. He's also removed the rear spoiler from it because apparently it wasn't doing anything. I think that's quite common on hot hatches. I don't think the body kits actually do anything. But basically, yeah, this is quite funky. I mean, it's plastic, the whole thing, apart from this. That's the shell. Everything else, even the doors, plastic. These are plastic and they've gone all manky. It's actually quite a small car. I didn't realise how small these were. Size-wise, that's probably not far off the Syrian that we've got. It's maybe, that's sort of, I think that's smaller than the 206. Genuinely, they look bigger in pictures, but on the dyno here, there's tons of room around it. Let's look under the bonnet quickly, see what's under there. I'm intrigued, as I'm sure you are, and if you're not, then you'll have to skip this bit. Under the world's smallest bonnet, via the world's easiest to access bonnet release, we find it's tiny. Do you know, I like this car because it's different. It's not the same as all the other hatchbacks, and it's based on a fairly mundane, normal hatchback. Although actually, those Colts look a bit funky, don't they? They're a bit funny looking. Is this the bonnet stay? Yes, it is. I love it. Yeah, so basically we have an engine. You can't really see it, so that was pointless. The owner was supposed to go to Rustival in it last year, but I think he said he didn't go, or maybe he did. I have no idea. It's not really relevant. But to do that, he printed this. He made this thing, which I guess is going to go in a window. Under the hood, the BRABUS installed the 4G15 turbocharged Mitsubishi engine. It was the same power plant from the Colt ZZT with upgraded with 27 ponies. I think he means horses. I've looked into this and it's true. The Mitsubishi that uses this engine doesn't have 170 horsepower. It's only a little bit lighter than this. It's like 40 kilos lighter, if that, maybe even 30 kilos lighter. But it's 27, 30 odd horsepower down. So I wonder why they detuned it that much. Maybe it was insurance or something, which means if you got one of those Mitsubishis, you could probably get it to 200 quite easily. That would be quite fun. As a result, the BRABUS ForFour could keep pace with the Mini Cooper S on a track, but offered 4 seats inside. Pretty sure a Mini Cooper S has 4 seats inside, but... So where are we at? How fast is the car? 0 to 60, 6.9 seconds. Actually, no, I'm lying. That's 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, which is 62 miles an hour, 6.9 seconds. 0 to 60, 6.6 seconds. Book figures, 177 horsepower, 169 pound-foot of torque, which is 230 Newton meters. Is this a bit of an unsung hero? Is this a bit of like an... Would this make a good sort of funky track car? An unsuspecting one? I'd love to get one of these and take all the BRABUS bits off it and just like, put... What do they call their diesels? CDI or something like that? These are built in the Netherlands. I'm guessing in a factory that used to build the Mitsubishi Charisma. That was an interestingly named car, wasn't it? Now, before I go getting into this, running up and spinning these drummy things and recording what power it's got, we might have a bit of a problem. It has traction control, which it seems you cannot turn off. There is no button to turn off the traction control. There's a button to turn off something off to do with it being towed. Why would you need that? But, oh, it's got one of those triangular doom things as well. Yeah, there's no traction control button. So I had a bit of trouble. Went online, I found a forum that said that what you need to do is take the center console out, and there's a control unit under there, and you unplug it and cut into the wires and put a switch in it. And then I found another one that says if you push the 3 buttons on the top of the dashboard, when you turn the ignition on and hold them in for 5 seconds, it puts it in dyno mode. And then a load of people underneath who said, oh, I couldn't get that to work. So I've got to try and get that to work. Because if I can't get that to work, we ain't doing this. So let's see if dyno mode is a thing. One would imagine that is the 3 buttons in question. So, I believe what we do is, no, I'm not going to be able to do all this in one go because I'd need 3 hands. If only I had a tripod. Hang on. So I've got no ABS lights and things on at the moment. 3 buttons. All held in simultaneously. Turn the ignition on and wait 5 seconds. I'm changing his clock here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That hasn't worked. The ABS light has gone out. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe you have to start the engine. Nope, they've gone out. We might not have a video here. What are these stupid cars where they don't put a button in so you can turn it off? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's done it. We've got ABS and ESP lights on, and every now and then it says service brake visit workshop, ABS faulty visit workshop. Will it do? Hang on. Right, so let's try just rolling the wheels. That's just the seat belt, so it wouldn't let me put my foot down before. It's working. Let's quickly do one before it stops. And it's important to not turn off the engine. I have to leave it running the whole time. Right, in an ideal world I wouldn't leave this thing running because it would just be getting hotter and hotter, but I'll have to run it with the fan for a long time before I do the next run, assuming we get another go. Let's see what the first one did. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Now that's interesting. That's torque at the wheel. Wow, Jesus, that is pretty high. That's torque at the wheels. 186 estimated at the flywheel. The revs may be very slightly out, so don't take this as an absolute. That might be 6.2, 6.1, 6.3. It could be around those kind of numbers. I don't know what the standard one's supposed to be. Hang on. No, he hasn't put the revs on here, sadly, but I'll overlay them on the screen. So 188, 177, so it's gained 11. And 186 pound-foot, 169 pound-foot. My God. Now this is a standard car. And I know what everyone's going to say. Everyone's going to say, oh, the dyno's overheating. But it's not, because Well, rolling road dynos can only give you an estimate. They can't give you a factual number. The only factual number it can give you is torque produced at the wheels. So 415 pound-foot is actually what it's just put out with the wheels. For example, a Saxo VTS, because there's one on the wall and it's nothing to do with the reason I just thought of one. At the wheels, that is about 310. Obviously they're a lot lower at the flywheel. Torque at the wheels is multiplied because it's geared down through the gearbox. It's the ratios, pulleys, that kind of thing. It's not unusual, said Tom Jones, for cars to produce slightly more power if they're in good health. The thing is that this thing has only done 50,000 miles, and the book figures are all a corrected number taken on engines that are brand new or have been running on their test beds and things like that, on their benches. Well, this thing has done real world mileage. It is run in, it is looser than an original engine, and quite often you do find, as long as it's got all its boosts, as long as there's no little leaks, as long as the EGR valve isn't weeping very slightly, all those little things and all the parameters are spot on, you do actually find that they can end up waking up a little bit and feeling a bit quicker. It's why motoring journalists back in the day used to say, you know, a run-in car feels like it goes better than a brand new one. So this does happen. What it suggests to me is that I think brand new, this probably would have been above the 177 they were on about. It's probably one of those cars that is, I don't know if it's going to be underquoted. It could be an underquote, you know, in a TU engine Peugeot Citroen manner where they blatantly make more than they say they do. That could be for insurance reasons or something like that. But at the same time, they could have been pessimistic. You know, we had one on here the other day. We had a 1.6 turbo DS5 on here the other day, the THP engine. That was the other way around. That one had lost about what this one's gained. And that had done more miles than this. So, yeah, it's... I mean, that could get into the 190s. If I run that again, that could get into the 190s, genuinely. Although it's sat here getting heat soaked now, so it might not. But I'll put the fan on for it in a bit to blow some air through it. That fan shifts a lot of air. It cools engines down so fast. So I'll let it cool down. I can't turn it off because I can't get it in the stupid mode again. But we'll do another run and see if we get into the 190s. But that is genuinely impressive. The fella who owns this, Joe, he tells me that he's owned a lot of cars. He's been around the block. He's been there and done it. He's had a few cars. He says that is quick. That is a fast car. I believe him. At the moment, I believe him. That's that's a genuine about 180 horsepower per ton. I bet that really surprises people. Here we go then, run 2. Pretty much exactly the same. 188. 188. That's pretty much exactly what it did before, which is good. It's consistent. Means the ECU is healthy. That is a healthy car. The graph is a bit squirrely, but you do kind of get that with some of the turbo cars. This is obviously pre-turbo boost. Then you get suddenly boost. The shape of this is kind of a reference to the shape of this because power is obviously a result of calculating torque. And yeah, you will find that there's little lumps and bumps and things along the way here, but you cannot knock that. Wow, I am doing an impress. So now we got our bits and bobs on. If I turn this off, in theory, if I then start it again, they should stay out. Well, they might not because it's done no, there you go. No malfunctions. There is a dyno mode and it works. Tell you what, while I'm sat in it, this is quite a comfy little thing. It's got quite meaty steering, and apparently these are cheap. No. You've got enough cars. I think we might have a new contender for, well, no, it's not going to beat the percentage on the Peugeot, is it? So if you go on the website, ihaveansm.com, there are dyno pages, and basically there is a list, a table list of all the cars, not all the cars, but a lot of the cars I've put on the dyno. and they're arranged by production class and modified class. The table is not the most powerful car at the top, it's the highest percentage overbook figure at the top. And at the moment, that's my own car, that's the Peugeot 106 Dump It. It's about 15%. But that's still really good. No, you've got enough cars. No. Right. Thanks for watching.